Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Those of you that uh, grew up, had your childhood in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, or whatever, even the 90s, we had a recollection of the era, maybe familiar with this program called The Incredible Hulk. I was just watching the initial. This show began in 1977, so I was watching the initial because usually when the series begins, they have like like maybe about a 90-minute movie to sort of give you a jump start what the scenario is before the season carries on or the seasons carry on. And this is an hour and 34-minute movie. It's on Netflix. Okay, it's about an Edomite. Okay, that he's a scientist, does experiments, gets spiritual power on the left hand side. Okay, he can transform and have immense strength, his muscle density, his height, his size. Because as in the scripture, the Lord did say, "Who can change his stature?" Let me just get that. 1 second. Matthew 6:27. Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature? That's Matthew 6:27, and that's the right-hand side spiritual power where you can go up and down in size, like in the last X-Men movie. Was it the last one where there was where it was set in Egypt? X-Men Apocalypse, where they show Apocalypse at the end. That's what the guy who plays the dark skinned individual, the character. I don't recollect his name. His name in the movie. He could add size. He could add height to his size. He could expand. He could become various sizes. And on the left hand side, Incredible Hulk gets big as well. Muscle density, has immense strength. The only thing is he can't really talk. So basically, he's like a green caveman if you think about it. And the way his looks is, obviously a Jake plays him, a Lou Ferrigno, but Lou Ferrigno doesn't really look like that. They put prosthetics on his face to give him that caveman look. Okay, now the reason why he starts doing these experiments on himself to get this strength is a simple fact that in the initial part of the movie, they show him, chilling out with his woman, going to romantic dates, dinners, walking on the beach, walking through fields with flowers and all that kind of stuff. Normal man womanish, right? And all romantic and all that. And then what happens is, Esau's happiness comes to a close because he's involved in a car accident. He gets thrown out of the car, and then his woman, right, an attractive Edomite woman, is left in the car. And he can't muster up the strength within himself to lift up the car so he can get his woman out. And see, she dies in the car. And now he is doing experiments, because he's a scientist, on people that have produced superhuman strength. And guess what? Who comes in through the door with an example of superhuman strength? A little Jake boy who's probably about 12 years old, okay? And his mother, here, this lady here, who weighs around about 110 pounds, probably about 5'2", okay? And why they were interviewing her, right? Obviously, they've been doing experiments on Jake because, Jake is their guinea pig, right? So to speak. Jake is their play toy at the moment. All right, but they're interviewing her because she saved her son, who was involved in a similar accident where she was thrown out, but she mustered up the strength from it within to lift up a whole vehicle. And she's 110 pounds, and she's a female at that. Now, obviously, they're always going to show the so-called black woman and her son. They're not going to ever show the father along with this. Well, remember, this is the 70s when they started breaking up the Jake families, okay, namely the Judite family or the so-called black American family. Okay, hence the reason why they're showing a single mother or a mother with her son. Where was the father at? Or how come the father and son didn't come? But what they do show is that she's producing up the strength because they're trying to show the black woman as strong and all that kind of thing, right? Okay, but right now let's just focus on the fact that what race these people are. They're Israelites come through the door, saying the fact that yeah, we've had an example where you know, where we showed superhuman strength, or where they showed superhuman strength, where they show her lifting up a car, right, where she produced strength to lift up a car and save her son. Okay, and these are the first characters or people they show that show superhuman strength. Okay, in the show called The Incredible Hulk, they're showing Israelites. Okay, and then once that conversation is over, Dr. David Banner, who's Bill Bixby, the Edomite, the one who changes to Incredible Hulk, the Green Caveman, right, um, gets cheesed off because he's saying, okay, how come these people showed so much strength? Where did that come from? Where did it come from? How come I couldn't do it? Why? You know, he's like questioning himself. You know why? I tell you why. This is spiritual. Esau knows Jake's gonna get that spiritual power, man. Okay, even on those Illuminati game cards, which were made in the 90s, right? I think it's similar to like Monopoly. I'm assuming there's a card on there, right, that shows a Jake with a cape, which is a mantle around his neck, off his shoulders, and his little Jake baby reading a comic book, a superhero comic book. So they know Jake's gonna get that spiritual power. Okay, I've just paused it on the scene where the woman is supposedly lifting up the car, 110-pound woman, 5'2" to 5'4", okay? And a female at that. All right? Remember, but this spiritual power is only going to be given to the elect within the elect and only the men of Israel, 12,000 men out of each tribe, okay? I'm just going to read some scriptures, just going to, mention, give you a beautiful description of Jake in a spiritual power, man. Psalms 110, verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the dew of thy youth. Okay, that power's going to come, all right? You'll be moving like a young man. And then on top of that, on the flip side, when you properly get changed, you'll be young again. You'll have your original body, you'll have your new body again. And if you're a confusion of faces, Jake, you'll get your original tribal look back as well, pursuing to your particular tribe. Okay? And the Lord's going to make you, his battle axe, man, his weapons of war, The Lord likes drama. The Lord is the biggest drama king, man. The Lord loves that. Okay? And he's going to make his elect, the elect within the elect, like weapons of war. Okay? Jeremiah 51 and 20, King James Version. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. Okay? Jeremiah 51 and 20 again. Thou art my battle axe and weapons of war, for with thee will I break in pieces the nations, and with thee will I destroy kingdoms. The Lord's going to use his ground troops, the elect within the elect. Okay? 12,000 men out of each tribe of Israelites. That's 144,000. Okay? Destroying this place, destroying your super soldiers, destroying you soldiers, destroying martial law troops, you gangs out there. Okay? You other nations, and you 2/3 too. Okay? And your robot dogs and your robots and your robo-cops and your terminators, whatever you got lined up, man. The Lord going to take care of that. Okay, you're going to amplify your side, Esau. Yahweh Hashem Yahshai is going to amplify his side greatly. And at the end of the day, pursuant to Isaiah 45, verse 7, man, the Lord controls the right-hand side and the left-hand side. Okay? The Lord has right-hand angels who are his sons, and he has left-hand angels who are his son. Satan is Yahweh Hashem Yahshai's son, man. Okay? Is the Most High Yahweh's son. All right? That does the Lord's bidding on the left-hand side. Okay? Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. That's Isaiah 40:31, King James Version. But they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Okay? Now, with certain superheroes, they show superheroes with certain traits or certain powers. Okay? Now, with the Incredible Hulk, they just show him as strong, uh, humane, merciful, someone with stature and powerful looking, okay? But they don't show him flying. They don't show him moving like lightning. But I'm sure he can run fast because he's got that muscle power, right? They don't show him, uh, not being weary because even in certain instances, even during the show, the Incredible Hulk does get weird, does get weary. That energy or that surge only lasts for a certain period of time. He's not always energetic, from what I've gathered over the years and of years of watching this stuff, watching this show. Sorry. But they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yoshai, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles, which means that the elect will fly. They shall run and not be weary, which means that they'll move like lightning, the way the character the Flash does. And they shall walk and not faint. They'll have energy for days. Okay, they'll have a spiritual battery that won't end. Okay, all right. That power is going to come. That surge of energy is always going to be there. And when you completely get changed, yeah, when you get beamed up and you get come back down again, okay, to get these elites out of their bunkers, and any of the Edomites that are left over in other parts of the world, because America's going to be a massive altar that's going to be burnt up in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Okay, you're not gonna, you're gonna have that power fully within you. You're not gonna ever be weary. But before the elect within the elect get changed, whoever they are in the world they will have power whenever it's needed. So they won't be in a situation where, if there's like 20, 30 super soldiers surround them, they won't be able to handle themselves. They'll be able to handle themselves, either escape with complete swiftness, be about flying or running away with like lightning, or simply tearing them apart. I mean, we got instances of this in history, okay? Biblical history. And Esau knows Jake's going to get that power, man. Look what Jake does. Incredible moves he does on a lower level in these weak, frail bodies that we're in, man. You see Jake online, backflips off the rims of basketball. What do you call them? Like the rim of the basketball hoop, right? Just standing up there and doing backflips off there, and that's more than several feet up, and not like hurting their legs. Their legs are like springs, Jake is naturally muscular. Jake naturally has a six-pack. Jake hasn't done a press up or a push up or or curled a dumbbell ever, and they're like 12, 13 years old, and they just take their shirt off and they're just ripped and lean and just naturally muscular, naturally athletic. Now, what do you think that is? Where do you think who the real superhero is? Huh? All the women of the other nations and Jake women want Jake, especially the women of the other nations. What do you think that is? Now, what do you think that's gonna be like when Jake is in his full power? Okay, we're the real superheroes, man. Okay, and King David, man, displayed this numerous times. Let's just go to one of the scriptures to, given a bit more elaboration on this. This is Psalm 18, verse 29. Psalm means song, okay, or songs, right? And as this, the psalm is, or Psalms is written by the beloved of Yahweh Shem Shai, King David, okay? So this is Psalm 18, verse 29. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power, or by my God, have I leaped over a wall. Which means that King David ran through a troop, sliced and diced them all up, all right, because martial arts and all that kind of thing comes from the Israelites, okay, because Jacob is a former of all things. Everything that is beautiful and great comes from us. Even when Jake does silly things on the left-hand side, they put so much salt and flavor to that, they make that look cool. An example would be gangster rap, Groups like Mobb Deep, NWA. Look how much salt they put into it. It actually does sound cool if you think about it on a carnal level. But it's just it's the demonic as f, man. When you just talk about murdering your own people. Okay, sorry for digressing then, going somewhere else. But let's go back to the power. Psalm 18:29. For by thee I have run through a troop, which means it ran through probably 1,000 men, slice and dice them all up, and by my power or by my God I leaped over a wall, which means leaping over a wall. As I say, when the original Superman came out, he leaps over a building in a single bound. Superman can leap over a building in a single bound. Where do you think they got that from? From Psalm 18 verse 29, when King David, with the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yeshai, leaped over a wall. And King David, in his prime, was 9 feet tall, and he was as short as of his brothers. Yeah, 9 feet tall, man. I mean, today, for a 9 feet tall guy who's filled out and swole and muscular standing next to you, everything's in proportion. And Jake, you think, man, that's dude looks amazing. Looks strong as F. But back then, the beloved King David was small, man. I mean, when you think about it, because look how we've regressed over the years, in size and stature and power and strength, and even in intellect, spiritual intellect, that is. Carnal intellect has obviously advanced, but spiritual intellect and spiritual common sense, we've definitely regressed, even myself, but Lord willing, we'll get that back, and we are because we're in this truth, Psalm 144. Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight. Okay? Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahweh is going to give that power, man, that spiritual download to move, like 10 or 100 Michael Jai Whites, 100 Bruce Lees. Yeah? And along with the ability to fly, move like lightning, think differently, be invisible. Maybe even shapeshift into a different object that's of a similar size or stature. Shapeshift your face to somebody else or into another character, so the soldiers can sort of run past you, or you can be invisible, and so super soldiers can't see you. Whatever power, man. This is just a tip of the iceberg in terms of the power. Yahweh Hashem is going to give His elect, whoever they are in the world. Who's going to give His power? The Lord's going to give that power to, right? I mean, didn't Yahweh Shai say that we'll do things greater than Him? Paraphrasing a scripture. Didn't He say? Didn't Yahweh Shai walk on water? I'm just getting a scripture. Just bear with me, please. John 14, verse 12, King James Version. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do, shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father, and the Father is Abanoah Yahweh. Okay? So Yahweh Shai, Malak HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai walked on water, and in Malak HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai did so many beautiful things, showing spiritual power that is not even recorded in the scriptures. So many. But we know of a few of them, like turning water into wine, walking on water, yeah? Healing people, like the woman who had a period, was bleeding for 12 years, she touched the garment of the Lord, Yahweh Hashem, the Lord Yahweh Shai, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Shai, and was healed. Yahweh Shai even healed a blind man that was blind from birth. Those amazing powers. And Yahweh Shai, Malak HaMashiach, Yahweh Shai said that the Jakes that believe on Him, right, will do greater things, man. Greater things. I just want to get the meaning of verily. One second. So, because I know a lot of Jakes don't check definitions of things. Okay, right. When the Lord said, "Verily, verily, I say unto you," verily means truly or certainly. An example would be, "Verily, these men are mad," which means certainly these men are mad. So basically, the Lord is saying here, let's go back to John 14, verse 12. "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father." So the Lord is saying, certainly, certainly, which means definitely, definitely, or certainly, certainly, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. Okay? So that's it's basically it's 100%, 144% true that this is going to happen to the elect men, whoever they are in the world. Okay? Jake's going to move out lightning, man. Okay? Like lightning. All right? Wisdom of Solomon, verse 3. No, Wisdom of Solomon, 3, verse 7. Wisdom of Solomon, 3, verse 7. Okay? King James. All right? "And in the time of their visitation, they shall shine and run to and fro like sparks among the stubble." Jake literally shines. And Yahweh Hashem Yeshai did say that wisdom maketh the face to shine. And that wisdom is given to the elect. Okay? And the elect are going to get that spiritual power. All right? So Jake literally shines anyway, and then that wisdom makes your face to shine, and then you're going to get that spiritual power, right? Which is going to make you move like sparks, man. Like lightning. Like when you watch the movie Flash, or you see Superman fly really or move real fast, you see like a bolt of lightning or a bolt or a flash behind them. It's going to be like that. Yeah, the way Flash moves, or if Superman is running fast or flying fast, for example. That's how fast you're going to move. That's that level of power coming, man. Because we're going to need that sort of power. In the ancient world, Samson, for example, Yahweh Shai gave him that amount of power that he needed for that specific period of time. There wasn't laser beams at that time on the earth. Obviously, the chariots had it. Yahweh Shai had it. The chariots and the angels had it. But the men on the earth, the Jakes on the earth, and even the heathen didn't have those kind of weapons. There wasn't no Gatling gun or lasers or super soldiers. It was hand-to-hand manly combat. Swords, shields, spears, bow and arrow, catapults, all that kind of thing. All right? So Yahweh Shai gave spiritual power unto Samson to take out 1,000 Hamites, man. Okay, 1,000 men. 1,000. And not get tired. And what did he use? The jawbone of an ass. An ass is similar to a donkey. A donkey is a combination between a mule and a donkey. Kind of like a splice, basically. I mean, yeah, it's jawbone of an ass or a donkey, right? The jawbone. So that jawbone was like welded to his hand, man. So he was like going through every Hamite, just katapping them, just like slicing them on their neck and on the head, and gutting them or whatever, and just taking them out. Probably about one hit per individual, per Hamite to kill or to take out, or 2 hits. Think about it, all them moves he had to do. And then once the slicing and dicing was over, and the surge of energy went off him, he was tired. The Lord made water come out of that jawbone to quench his thirst, because he needed to be replenished or needed to be hydrated, because he was dehydrated from taking all them Hamites out. But that's spiritual power on a low. That's still spiritual power, but it wasn't permanently with Samson all the time, even though he was a warrior and a trained fighter. He needed spiritual power to go against 1,000 men. And that surge of energy Yahweh Shai gave him. Now, can you imagine in the kingdom how it's going to be? Or when we get changed and come down. Or when the Jakes that are chosen get changed and come down. Whoever they are in the world. Because the Lord has put them there like sleeper cells, man. They're spiritually strategically placed in different areas around the world. So when they do wake up, that button is ignited, or that button is pressed. The Lord's going to say, okay, this is me saying it as a man. The Lord's going to say, this is me saying as a man, okay? Right? Okay, we're ready now. I'm going to hit the button, and that's it. All the Jakes simultaneously, Lord willing, will get that power, or when specifically it's required, depending on the situation. and it's going to start happening, man. You know, as soon as those troops start coming in, as soon as the Charagma is implemented, and Revelation 13:16, and the troops start coming in, and there's riots, race riots, and you know, uh, Isaiah 14:15, which I believe is, when they start bum rushing each other's houses, stealing bread, and the women. Let me see if I said the right one. Isaiah 14. Was this 14 verse 5? I hope I didn't say the wrong scripture. Okay, well that's going to happen too. Isaiah 14 verse 5, where the Lord is going to break the bread of staff, where there won't be no food. So that's going to lead to these race riots. So yeah, that's another example. The Lord hath broken the bread of the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. No, Salaki, I got the scriptures mixed up. Okay, Salaki for that. Isaiah 14 verse 5, the Lord Yahweh Shemeshah hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Well, that's happening now as well. We're at the point where in Daniel's dream, in the dream mentioned in Daniel's, we're at the part where it's mentioned in Daniel, where in Nebuchadnezzar's dream, we're at the part where the concrete and the clay part now, with the feet, where the head was gold, right, at the height of rulership, right, of these heathens. Now we're at the point where the feet, which is concrete, and concrete crumbles. Those of you that have laid out concrete with your dad in your back garden or whatever, or I work in the construction industry, for example, will know that concrete sometimes needs to be replaced every year. Not every year, so probably like maybe after 15 years or 20 years, it starts crumbling. If it's done right. If it's not done right, it probably starts crumbling after about 10 years or so. It usually lasts sometimes 3-4 decades if it's done right. This is me guessing, but if it's done right, it usually lasts at least 2 decades or so. I'm talking about just generally, right? I'm not in that industry, so I don't really know, but it does last. But I know obviously it crumbles as well. Our rulership's not going to ever crumble, okay? Ever. Let's go to the scripture where I did mention Samson, okay? Spiritual power, okay? Judges 15:15, and he found a new jawbone, of an ass, and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. Okay, I'm gonna read that again. Get this in your head, man. All right. This isn't a joke. Even the term marvel is from the scriptures. These damn devils use everything. Listen, man. Esau needs us. We don't need them. Okay. All right. This rulership only exists because of us. Because we're the talent. We're the brain. We're the source of power. We're the source why this kingdom exists. Esau is just a sideline actor. That's A-line at the moment. Very soon he'll be just a C grade level person, even less than that. Okay, in the kingdom, of course, but at the moment, the Lord has put him in a position of power. But even though his power is diminishing, he's not at the level he used to be. Okay. Judges 15:15 again. Okay, this is the kind of power, and this is just not even on a super level like the elect are gonna get. Okay, this is the power, but this is amazing though, right? Remember, this is amazing. It's taking out 1,000 men, right? Judges 15:15 again, and he found a new jawbone of an ass and put forth his hand and took it and slew 1,000 men therewith. Okay, the ultimate thing is that Jake is only going to get that power. Okay, only Jake. All right, and numerous times they show you in movies. Okay, even if you watch Superman 2, right, for example, where they're at the part with where they're in Niagara Falls. I believe it's on the New York side, right? Because Toronto and New York are nearby, right? And then that child falls in, right, messing around on the edge of the waterfall, Niagara Falls, and then then Clark Kent gets changed into Superman and goes there flying, and then if you listen to the background voices, They say, no, 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 when he's flying down. At the same time, while he's flying, no, 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 he's Jewish. He's definitely from a Jewish family. Okay? There's no such thing as Jewish. What they were trying to say is that those people that are getting that power are Jews, okay? And the Jews are Judah, Benjamin, Levi, okay? And basically alluding to the fact that the 12 tribes are going to get that power because the head tribe are the Jews or the Judites, okay? You got to be spiritual to understand these things, man. All right? Esau shows you this time and time and time again, okay? All right? We are even superior even in their rulership. You understand? Esau ain't nothing. They ain't going to get that power. That's why Dr. David Banner was cheesed off why he couldn't lift the car when his woman was stuck, all right? Because he had an example here of an Israelite, right? Lifting up the vehicle, a 110-pound woman, lifting up the vehicle, saving her son. Where did she muster up that strength? Yahweh Hashem Yashai gave her that strength, okay? To show his power, okay? And the fact that where his blessing is at is on his people. Okay, even though they're using a woman to show the power, I get it. Okay, but the fact of the matter is, okay, the men are going to get that power. But what's important here is they're showing an Israelite woman, okay, with her son, okay, when they enter that office because they want to interview people that have been in a similar situation. Did they find that super strength? And where did it come from? It comes from Yahweh Hashem Yashai. Anyway, I just wanted to touch on this video because it struck me because I started watching it and I saw the Israelite family and I thought, okay, that's it. It just hit my spirit, in a beautiful way. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahashai, Ba'ashem Rakak Badash. That power is coming, Hakim. It's going to come. Okay? Lord willing, time speeds up. As you can see, each week is going by beautifully fast. And Lord willing, it speeds up even more. And, E has been measuring the time, okay, according to his carnal level. There's 24 hours in a day, right? Okay, which is 6. Then they got like 60 seconds, which is 6 again. Okay. 60 seconds in a minute, which is 6 again, which is 666, which is on a demonic level. But what they're saying is the time has, in terms of speed, it feels like an 18-hour day. So the time has sped up or shortened by 33%. And that's spiritual as well, 1/3 to be saved, right? So it feels like an 18-hour day instead of 24, right? And 1 + 8 is 9, and 9 is 144, right? I try and keep it simple with the numbers, but sometimes the numbers do sort of spiritually connect. But anyway, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashai, Ba'ashem Rakak Badash.